Alright, so here's a battle where I come up against someone who is a bit of a camper. Not mega cheese or anything, but, you know, a bit of a camper, and this is how I dealt with it at the time, and it was relatively successful, better than the last one anyway. I'm not brilliant at it. Now this guy is an 8-star gold, and I'm only an 8-star bronze, so it's slightly intimidating, and the level of his troops is pretty amazing from my standpoint. Really high levels of attack, morale, and so on. Very small army he's got. Very small army. My army is mainly swords. I've got one bow samurai unit, I've got one matchlock samurai unit, and 2 Nagi warrior monks for anti-cav, as well as 2 great guard, I think it is. Yeah, 2 great guard and a katana cav, which I leave hidden, and hope it is always hidden. So that I find that they're very useful after you've gotten rid of the other guy's cav, or he's gotten rid of yours, and basically no one's got any cav left. You can swing around and do some fantastic hammer and anvil strikes when people don't expect it's going to happen. So anyway, I'm moving up. I've got numbers here, whereas he's got quality, but I suspect I outnumber him a fair bit at this time. He moves onto this low ridge here, which is not bad. It's got a little bit of forest on it, and he goes over to capture this. Meanwhile, over here, he's got a great guard unit, which I managed to lure out by just sort of pretending to threaten that. I was hoping he'd show where his cav was, and at the time I did see there was a Yari samurai there too. So I decided I'm going to take the shrine. I can't really contest the sword dojo all that well, and there's another great guard and Yari samurai. So good, smart move on his part, because he thinks if I go either way, he can move one of these units down and take one of these dojos, which is really the thinking of a more veteran player, because most of the people I play against just care about charging into you, and it's usually what I've just considered to be the limit of the tactic. Just go in and kill the guy, and if you get a dojo on the way, fantastic. So a bit of a noob error on my part. I didn't realise how much range he had with those bow warrior monks. He's got 2 of them, and they're pretty good. And again, like any losses on your great guard is pretty painful. Now his great guard are better than mine, just pretty simply, like level 9 and mine are level 2, so you know. But then I thought matchlock samurai will kill them, and this is where we do just a little bit of cat and mouse. I'm trying to get close to him, he's trying to lure me up whilst his bow warrior monks move into place. Meanwhile he's captured this, and I think I've captured this by now. So I decided it's just not worth it. I wonder if I would have gotten there. I think if I'd had a little bit of patience I might have got a shot, but he was moving out of range and the bows were in range now. So I waited. Now he had the range of me because my bow samurai just couldn't reach that sort of level. He peppers these guys for a little while before I even realise that they're getting killed, which is a pretty expensive sort of mistake at this level when I've only got this unit and this unit as my range. He does do one thing wrong, which I try to take advantage of. I try to just threaten him to make him force him to go back, but he just sits there and he thinks that his Yari samurai will take care of it, but they actually are targeting this unit, and I moved that out of the way. Mostly. Oh, mostly. Gee, didn't realize he got caught so well. These guys hammer this unit pretty well. Don't know how many they kill, but oh, about half the unit, and then they're out of there. Again, they get intercepted by these Yari samurai, who are racking up a bit of a kill count, and he brings his own great guard down through and right into my army. Not a bad idea, except I get a few shots off, and he doesn't immediately withdraw. But hey, I mean, like, he does do a bit of damage, and what I'm amazed by is in this moment, look at that, he killed 2, 3, 4, that's all. Not very many, considering he actually charged into them. So those are some seriously tough great guard. I'm trying to catch them at the moment, just pin them in place while I can move up my units and hopefully get some matchlock shots on them. Good move on his part again to double sandwich me. Look, my cav are just dying. At this point he should really just get out of there because he's got it. I mean, like, my guys are dead. And he does try to get out of there.
Our men are running from the battlefield.
Go on, eh?
For display.
So now, luring me up, I decided no, that's not such a great idea, and I figured, well, I tried to go for a bit more of a skirmish. I figured you only had one unit at the time. I didn't realise, didn't really pay attention to how much bowfire was coming out, which is again just like a great little noob error. And his gen is a bow gen as well, or at least some sort of bow gen. So I'm copping a bit of hell here, but it's better to go in prepared rather than rush it because you're getting shot at a bit. Bows are dangerous, but they're not really going to annihilate your army, except my poorly armoured warrior monks. Now he takes a few losses here, and his men are in trees mostly, except these guys. And I did manage to move up my matchlocks for it, but again, these guys are going to get nailed. I figured there was only that one unit and then maybe his gen, but there's actually a whole nother unit back there. So just put that on fast forward for a sec. They're getting nailed, my guys are getting nailed even worse. And in a moment, he keeps trying to threaten them. And that's where I managed to pin at least his cav and do a bit more damage to them. And now it's just a matter of skirmish, so I'm trying to take out his unit, hoping that I can do something to it, and he just beating the hell out of my army with that one unit. Now I move up my katana cav because he's got nothing left to stop me. Now here's what I find a bit odd about it, is just sitting on a hill like that. It's not even a great hill, actually. He should have probably been up there is what I would think. This is a good move. This is a fantastic move. He's now taken my shrine away. I didn't even realise, and he's got his unit right behind me. They can't be taken up by cav. That's a brilliant move. Should learn from that one. So I figured that the only thing I could do would be to attack him, and I'm pretty much running out of arrows anyway. And actually my bow samurai do run out of ammo at one point. Don't know how much damage I do to his warrior monks, but it's not all that. Not all that profound.
Used all its ammunition, my lord.
Here we go. So now I've got no choice but to go in. At the time, his samurai, Yari samurai, coming back up behind me too. So it's a good thing I did move. I just still didn't notice. And you see, just again, poor micro because I've got these units out of position. It works well for me later, but it was an accident. I wonder how many die each volley. A couple each time. So now he comes down right into me, and I'm pretty well fine by that, so I move back to try to keep out of the way. And again, this unit comes down, and I run back again. Because, I mean, I was scared of his dudes. Just, oh, that guy just got nailed. I was scared of his dudes just simply because they're better than mine. And look, my guys are wavering already. I've got an out of arrows bow unit and a katana unit, and a few sword units which I don't think are up to his. And when I look at the experience level, they're not that much above mine. Here I'm just surprised I'm doing so well. Would have thought his guys would have ripped the hell out of me, but for some reason I'm actually doing pretty well. And these guys are doing surprisingly well too, judging by the blood. His generals in stand and fight, and what I decide to do now is decide to do some hammer and anvils. Now this guy that was running late managed to intercept this samurai Yari unit, so that was pretty damn lucky really. And now I can do these hammer and anvil strikes, which aren't all that effective, but they just start to get a bit of a waver going. And he's actually got the shrine too, that's so cheeky. Look at this guy. Oh! Get him! Oh! Oh, mate, nicely done. Yeah. So now I get in there, and for some reason my guy's actually winning up on the hill, and it turns in my direction. Oh, yeah. Revenge is sweet. Look at that one. So there you go. Now his Yari samurai over here are holding their own, but they're not able to push through, and now it's just all over. I don't know why it worked so well for me going up through here, but I think there's just bugger all of a slope, and I had a bit of charge momentum, and they managed to push me through. I think that's all it was. If he'd had a better slope like up here and forced me to come up towards him, that might have been more effective, or if he just played more aggressively. I guess I'll never know, but I think it was a good game anyway. I thought I'd lost it for a while there. And we'll just see the results now. He had a way smaller army though too. I mean, like it can be a bit of a disadvantage. Some of the vet players I talk to of about his level tend to use a lot of low-level units to compensate for the high-level, really expensive ones. So a bit of a mix and match. I usually just go for really high-level, expensive ones, but mine aren't that high-level. Maybe 5 or 6 at most. So they'll cost about 1,000 koku or 1,100 koku for a really high-level unit for me. Don't know how much his would cost, but it might be a lot more. Yeah, see, look, he killed more than me, which is pretty awesome, really. Seeing as I outnumbered him almost by like 30%. Not bad. See who did the best. Bow Samurai, not all that surprisingly, since they had so much time to shine. And my... Where's my little matchlock gone? There they are. Yeah, they did bugger all, really. Yeah, look at that. These guys got very little, but I just had more units at least, so that's what managed to tie me over. Look at that, though. Whew. Not bad for a small unit size, or a medium unit size setting. Thanks for watching.